Owning a revolver isn't just about firepower. It's about pride, confidence, and making the right choice. But what if some revolvers out there are more trouble than they're worth? Welcome back to our exciting channel, where today we're saving you from wasting money, time, and maybe even your sanity. In this video today, if you're standing right now, you're gonna wanna grab a seat because we're exposing the top 10 revolvers that you need to avoid because they're simply awful. Yeah, they're that bad. If you are new here to the gun world, you're probably wondering what revolvers are, since all guns are the same simply because they're guns. But that's not the truth, Cinderella. A revolver is a handgun that uses a rotating cylinder to hold multiple cartridges, firing them one after the other without reloading. It's literally a wheel gun. One significant constraint on the evolution of firearms was the amount of time needed to reload the weapon once it had been discharged. An enemy may assault the user while the weapon was ineffective due to reloading. This led to the production of multi-barreled weapons that could fire 2 or more bullets without reloading, and these were the first of several strategies designed to address the issue of increasing the rate of fire. Multiple barrels rotate single axis were a hallmark of later guns. Even though everyone seems to be infatuated with semi-automatic pistols, a lot of us still hold on to revolvers, including myself. I own several semi-autos, therefore this does not imply that I am against them by any means. However, there's something about a good revolver that just still captivates me and makes me want to own one forever. Perhaps it's because I grew up watching some amazing movies with revolvers. Revolvers are special because they are utterly reliable. If you're looking for an excellent backup gun, a revolver will do the job. What's more, there is a broader range of calibers available and they just look classy. But not all revolvers embody these attributes. Our countdown starts at number 10 and we have the Colt Python in this spot. The Colt Python is one of the few revolvers that could be regarded as mythical. For many revolver enthusiasts, the Python has represented the grail gun for some, the fondest recollections. For others, a mix of the two. The Python, which was once advertised as a premium grade revolver, was hailed by a number of prominent shooters, notably Colonel Jeff Cooper, as the best production revolver that was ever produced. A classic among good double-action revolvers, the Python is renowned for its remarkable accuracy, ergonomics, and smooth, tight action. As a fan, I bet you believe it is the smoothest revolver ever made, but I gotta burst your bubble, it's really not. This revolver is expensive, delicate, and the new ones don't live up to the originals. The truth is, it's too fragile for serious duty use, and the price tag is insane for an everyday double-action revolver. Next, at the 9th spot is the Ruger LCR, one of the champions of concealed carry. The Ruger LCR was designed for self-defense and concealed carry. There are a lot of advantages to having a simple, lightweight, easy-to-use revolver, and the Ruger LCR checks all of those boxes, from its weight, recoil, sights, cost, caliber options, and LCR trigger to configurations. Aesthetically, the Ruger LCR is a modern-looking revolver. It's good, but not great. In the world of revolvers, we've had some real beauties, but the Ruger LCR doesn't have the same elegance. It's a dumb-looking gun. It feels like a toy, kicks like a mule, and has a ridiculously stiff trigger. In reality, most people hate shooting it after the first cylinder. Now sitting pretty on the 8th spot on the list of awful revolvers is Smith & Wesson Model 29. The Smith & Wesson Model 29 is a 6-shot double-action revolver chambered for the .44 Magnum cartridge. At the time of its introduction, the Model 29 was the most powerful production handgun, although it was later overtaken by handguns chambered for the even larger .454 Castle, 50 Action Express, and 500 S&W Magnum cartridges. It was made famous worldwide by association with the fictional character Dirty Harry Callahan. After the release of the movie and its sequels, retailers had difficulty keeping the Model 29 in stock. Well, today, this rifle is still very much available, but believe me when I say avoid buying it. This revolver is unnecessarily heavy, it's hard to control, and most shooters can't handle full power .44 Magnum. It's cool in movies, but not in real life. Seriously though, who would have thought Smith & Wesson would make such an awful gun? It's overrated and expensive as heck. Coming in at number 7 is the Taurus Judge. Designed and manufactured by Taurus International, the Taurus Judge is a 5-shot revolver that is chambered for .410 bore-shot shells and the .45 Colt cartridge. Taurus encourages the use of the Judge for home security and self-defense against carjacking, but is it truly reliable for these scenarios? scenarios. The judge is merely a gimmick that doesn't really excel at anything. It's too weak for self-defense, too inaccurate for hunting, and I can't find anything the judge does well that a standard handgun wouldn't do better. At room ranges from 5 to 7 yards, the buckshot pattern is so small that it must be aimed precisely, just like a handgun bullet, so there's really no advantage there. Beyond that distance, danger to bystanders is simply too great to even consider using the gun. With birdshot, the judge is essentially useless. With 45 ammo, it is a large, ungainly piece with poor accuracy. Its penetration is weak, not nearly enough for a defensive round. The 410 buckshot does not penetrate deeply enough to be a useful load for self-defense. Another letdown was the rifled slug, which lacked the penetration, weight, and power necessary to be a useful defensive load. Avoid it at all costs. To think that a home defender doesn't come with any sort of sighting system, what was the Taurus thinking? Now, if you think you've heard it all, you're mistaken. The Colt single-action Army revolver takes the 6th spot. I know every Colt devotee might not hold this down, and that is not a problem because the truth is always bitter and good old Colt isn't wearing the same white hat like you think, and the single-action Army is a testament to this fact. The single-action was adopted as the standard issue revolver of the US Army at some point in its life. Even though it has been offered in over 30 different calibers and various barrel lengths, one thing is consistent. It's an awful gun. While some say it's a gorgeous 6-shooter, I don't find it all that appealing. The absence of modern safety features, such as a firing pin block or transfer bar mechanism, means that the revolver requires careful handling to prevent accidental discharges if dropped or mishandled. The fact that the revolver holds fewer rounds than many firearms, thanks to its 6-round cylinder, is a major drawback, which is a disadvantage in the face of high fire volume requirement. Its single-action mechanism slows down the rate of fire compared to modern double-action revolvers or semi-automatic pistols, and as custom to Colt ammunition, this one is insanely expensive as well. The Chiappa Rhino takes the 5th spot, and the first thing you'll notice when you see this revolver is its unusual frame. Yeah, even though you're a diehard fan, we all know it's ugly, and you're probably not going to admit that. Praised for its accuracy, reliability, sturdiness, recoil operation, comfortable grip, moon clip capability, low bore axis, lightweight, and its .357 Magnum cartridge, the Chiappa Rhino has really come to stay, and as such, it has won the heart of many. However, its double-action trigger pull is heavy, making it difficult to shoot accurately in rapid fire. The grip angle is unusual and needs extra practice to get used to. Its unnecessarily wide trigger face sums it up. Its frame presents it as a confused gun trying hard to be both a pistol and a revolver. Although the low bore axis makes it amazing, the trigger is garbage and it looks like something out of a bad sci-fi movie, and of course, it is way too expensive. This brings us to the Smith & Wesson J-frame revolver. It's iconic, classic, aesthetically appealing, great for concealed carry, well-rounded on the edges, and very lightweight, but it holds 5 rounds of .38 special, though these are nothing to be sneezed at, but a 6th round like other revolvers would be great too. It is tiny, hard to control, painful to shoot, and barely holds the 5 rounds. You'll miss half your shots in a real fight because the recoil is insane. Occupying the 3rd spot is Webley Mk6. This is the weapon that was the British military issue gun from 1889 until about 1963, when the Browning High Power officially replaced it. Heavy and large, this is not a concealed carry weapon. It is, however, a superb field gun, very robust, reliable, accurate, and a fairly good man-stopper. However, this rifle belongs to a museum. It is heavy, underpowered, and completely obsolete. Now, before you protest, I know it's a British classic, but you shouldn't be caught carrying one today. That's my only argument. In the 2nd spot is the Rossi Circuit Judge. Now, this is a funny-looking revolver. You have to wonder if it's a failed attempt at a rifle or just an overzealous revolver design. Wait a minute, it is hard to believe this is actually a revolver, because what was Rossi thinking? With all the paparazzi with the design, it is only capable of 5 rounds, and stop saying it's the best of both worlds, because it isn't. It's clunky, inaccurate, and pointless. A revolver-rifle hybrid that excels at nothing. The design of the stock and extractors means that you cannot extract all 5 rounds at the same time. It also means that there's no way you could do a quick reload with a speed loader. Maybe speed strips would work, but two problems. The extractor is too short to extract shotgun shells, and the stock extends too close to the extractor when it's pushed. It's a novelty piece, no argument there, but you wouldn't enjoy it for anything other than punching paper. If you have an interest in this gun, you'll have to reconsider. And now finally, we've reached the big bad awful revolver you'll want to avoid at all cost. Ranking number 1 on the list is a revolver from an iconic manufacturer because again, we are back on Colt's neck. The Colt 1851 Navy is undoubtedly a legendary piece of history. Its indelible mark and impact still reverberates, but try carrying one in 2025 and see how that works. Although it was the first handgun to be adopted on a global scale, it is heavy and slow by our modern standards. Its reloading is labor intensive, but it sets a standard for sidearms. Unless you're a collector, it's of no use being in your possession at all. So there you have it, the top 10 awful revolvers that people swear aren't awful. Some are overrated classics, others are overpriced gimmicks, and a few are just downright miserable to shoot. But hey, if you love one of these, good for you. Just don't pretend it's perfect. It's okay to admit things have flaws. Did I get it right, or did I just commit firearms blasphemy? Let me know which revolver you'd defend to the death, or which one actually deserves the spot on this wall of shame in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed today's video, then you need to hit the like and subscribe button pretty fast for more interesting videos. Until then, stay safe and stay prepared, and we'll see you in the next one.